Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're doing the August 2021 month-end forecast from GavsWeatherVids for today's second video. So here we go, we're going to have a look at some long-range model data from CANSIPS, the CFSV2 and the Beijing Climate Centre. See what those three longer-range models are showing for August 2021. And I'm going to give you GavsWeatherVids forecast for August, and it's going to be quite an interesting forecast, I think, this one. So we're following on from really quite a warm July, and we are going to review the July forecast as well and see how that one did at the end of the video. Have a little sneak peek at September. So I'll get on with the August forecast for you in a moment. Just say that the first video released today was our 7 AM forecast. Got the European Outlook coming up for you very shortly, and we'll have a 10 to 14 day that will include all our regular features later on this afternoon. If you can, please like, share, subscribe on all the videos, and thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so the July forecast, we predicted a rather warmer than average July. We say the temperature will probably be around 1 degree above the 81 2010 average. We predicted quite a thundery month. We thought it would be, you know, an unsettled month, but there would be regular warm spells and periods of high pressure that would deliver hot weather, but it wouldn't be sustained over weeks and weeks and would break into thunderstorms. We thought rainfall probably would come out close to average for quite a few areas, but some places would be wetter than average due to those downpours and thunderstorms. And we predicted the month would probably get more unsettled and deteriorate as it went along. It's a complicated forecast and with low confidence. So this is how the temperature anomaly comes out for July 2021 from the climate averages page at the UK Met, and you can see that it was an interesting month, very, very interesting and very unusual month in a lot of ways, because the temperature anomaly gets hotter and hotter and hotter the further north and west you go, which is very unusual for that to happen. So you can see that, like, for the far southeast of England, for East Anglia, southeastern parts of England, the temperature anomaly is only around average for 81 to 2010. It's a bit above average as we come a little bit further northwestwards into like the eastern Midlands and southwestern England. Then we go to around a degree above average. Go a little bit further northwestwards to Wales and northern England, and particularly northwestern England, we find the temperature then goes to around 1.5 degrees above average. Go further north and west still to Northern Ireland and western and southwestern Scotland, and we go to around 2.5 degrees above average. At its core, in this sort of southwestern part of Scotland here, we actually go to around 3 degrees above average. So hottest to the northwest and coolest to the southeast, which is very, very, very unusual for that to happen in the summer in particular. So really bizarre with the temperature anomaly. I don't think anybody, you know, predicted that particularly, but it would be hottest in the north and west and near average in the south and east. And we also see a very unusual pattern. Excuse me. We also see a very unusual pattern for rainfall as well. So for the precipitation anomaly for July 2021, again, where it's hottest, it tends to be driest, and that's like northern and western Scotland, particularly southwestern Scotland, over to Northern Ireland, into the far northwest of England, and also northern and western parts of Wales. The areas where you would normally expect it to be wettest actually come out driest, and then we see that for like the south and the southeast, it's quite a wet month, above average rainfall there, near normal through the Midlands to East Anglia, then it gets wetter again through some parts of northern England, and again through sort of central to eastern Scotland. I'm sure a lot of this is down to thunderstorms and you know, localised bursts of torrential rain, especially the pattern that we have across England and Wales there, with like the far south and southeast looking very wet, but a little bit further north into the Midlands, and it's relatively average to a little bit drier, and then further northwards again towards the north of England, it becomes much wetter. And it's very, very, very strange July, really, really bizarre month this, and sunshine amounts rounds it all off as well. So look at this, we see that western and particularly northwestern areas have a very sunny month. So like western Scotland is up to around 150 to 170% of their average sunshine. Northern Ireland is well over 100% of average. Southwestern Scotland, northwest England, Wales, southwest England, Again, sunnier than average month through here, but we get through to East Anglia, actually have a slightly duller than average month with around 70 to 90% of average. And much of like the Midlands, Eastern England, only around average sunshine. So what a strange month. One of the strangest months I can remember, really, the way it's all averaged out. Like that. Of course, the GavsWeatherVids July forecast did not do particularly well. I mean, we did pick up the broad theme, I think, with it being a relatively warm month, but we did not expect, like, the hottest weather to be to the northwest and the coolest weather to be to the southeast. We correctly picked up the idea it would be a mixed month, perhaps a little bit more high pressure in the second half of the month than we expected. So I think, you know, we probably got the broad synoptic things correctly, but the way it worked out, with the north and west being the hottest, driest, and sunniest, and the south and southeast being coolest, wettest, and dullest, I don't think anybody saw that coming, and certainly we didn't either. So it was a very, very strange, very bizarre month, to say the least. And how it fits in with the sun forecast, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, but I don't think the sun forecast has done too badly up to now, but it will hinge on this August, where we see like a deterioration through August and we go cooler and wetter through August, which would be in line with the GavsWeatherVids summer 2021 forecast. So yeah, really strange July. That's how it all came out. I think the July forecast from GavsWeatherVids was a mixed bag. But we got some things correct, but overall, we did not, you know, did not predict like how strange and bizarre the month would be overall. Let me know in the comments what you think to our July forecast. Right, let's get on with August then. So we're going to start off with CANSIPS. This is the mean sea level pressure anomaly for August from CANSIPS. Going for quite an unsettled August actually, with low pressure in off the Atlantic into the UK and Ireland as well. That brings a jet stream through off the Atlantic too. So yeah, that looks like a mixed August. We've got low pressure in Scandinavia as well. There's quite a bit of low pressure around. The temperature anomaly for August still showing like warmer to the north and northwest of the country, and actually for England and Wales, and particularly the south, it's cooler than average August. We see much of like the continent cooler than average as well. That's quite strange, but there we go. That's what the model is going for there. As far as precipitation is concerned, for August, so it's near normal. It's not overly wet. It's not an overly wet month, just average rainfall. Just to our east, though, we do come out with a rather wetter than average month through there. So it's not as unsettled as you might think, actually, from the mean sea level pressure anomaly, which does look quite low pressure dominated, but it is pretty cool. Right, CFS V2 next. So this is a 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS. And this doesn't look particularly good if you want a warm and dry August, because it's going for below average heights, low pressure to be over and to the east of the country. The Azores high is pulled well away from us into the middle of the Atlantic, and there are some hints of some high latitude blocking as well around Greenland and Iceland. So the jet stream is down here somewhere. And so the CFS does look pretty unsettled, actually, and probably quite cool. The temperature anomaly from CFS is coming out cooler than average. You don't see that very often with the CFS, but it's going for below average temperatures for England and Wales. Many parts of western and even some eastern parts of Europe looking cooler than average as well. So it's a proper cool August that the model is in. Remember, CFS is very much towards warmer than average most of the time. This is really unusual. It is going for a hotter than average month in the southeast of Europe, hardly surprising with heat wave currently going on. It's going for a warmer than average month for Iceland as well, and up to Greenland. That, of course, is as a result of the blocking that the model is seeing. But yeah, quite a cool August being predicted there, and also a wet August as well. This is different to CANSIPS, which doesn't look overly wet, but also CFS is predicting like above average rainfall with below average temperatures for the UK and Ireland and many parts of Europe as well. So a cool wet August being predicted by CFS V2. And then finally got Beijing Climate Center. So this is the 500 millibar height anomaly from the Beijing Climate Center. This is from the 6th of August to the 4th of September, so just into the beginning of next month, actually. But most of it is like for August. And Molly's going for above average height speed over and to the south. We can actually below average heights out to our north and west. Suggesting coming through something like that. This is a dry, warmer signal. It does have a very unsettled opening 10 days, though. So I won't go through them like 10 days at a time. But I can tell you that the anomaly from like the 6th to the 16th of August is low pressure dominated. And mate wants to bring high pressure back big time into the second half of the month. Which delivers in the end that 30-day 500 millibar height anomaly. Beijing Climate Centre is seeing a warmer than average August, above average temperatures being predicted there, not just the UK but through most parts of Europe as well. And the Beijing Climate Centre model is also predicting a bit of a north-south split. So northern areas actually a little bit wetter, northern and northwestern areas a little bit wetter. For England and Wales, a little bit drier. Notice it's going for quite a dry month across most parts of the continent. So again, it's another very difficult forecast to judge this. And so I think we're going to go with a more unsettled month. Certainly the first half of the month, I think, is going to be notably much more unsettled than we've had a very long time, actually, for the northern half of the country, not the southern areas, obviously, because there was relatively unsettled June and July. But in the north, it has been a long run of dry weather, but I think that's over now, and I think sort of northern and northwestern areas will probably get quite a wettish spell through the first half of August, anyway. Where things go into the second half of the month, a little bit more difficult to judge. I have a feeling we probably will get ourselves back to higher pressure for a time in the second half of the month, but I'm not all that confident it'll last a great deal of time. So I think we're going to go for like near normal temperatures to possibly ever so slightly below average, actually, in some areas. That would be particularly, I would have thought, for the south, but not too far from average. So near normal temperatures, I think, to a little bit on the cool side. So as precipitation is concerned, probably quite an unsettled month, especially the first half. I think the second half will dry things out a little bit, but again, I'll be surprised if high pressure lasts for a long while. So I reckon we probably go into like maybe a week of high pressure, warmer, drier weather at some point in the second half of the month, maybe most likely in the last week of the month, perhaps moving towards September. But overall, a mixed August, bringing an end to a very, very strange summer, and yeah, much closer to average with the temperature. Anomaly and rather on the unsettled side, so some areas probably coming out with above average rainfall, and particularly I would have thought for the north and west, as I think this would be quite an Atlantic driven sort of August. So it's quite a flip actually on what we've had through the summer so far. It's a very low confidence forecast again, as you can imagine going through this model data. There isn't a clear-cut signal. Really, and certainly the first half of the month, I think the confidence is higher with that being cooler and unsettled. It's the second half of the month that's causing the problems. You know, whether that high pressure does build in the second half of the month and give us a spell of warmer, dry weather. If it does, how long will it last, and how hot will it get? But I reckon this is probably going to be quite an unsettled August. So we should wait and see. And that, of course, will be in line with GavsWeatherVids summer forecast. Well, the last thing we'll look at is September. So this is a 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 for September, and nothing really to go on here, to be honest. So I'll just put in a couple of really big question marks and say, but there's not enough there, you know, there's not enough there to go on for September. So probably best to leave September alone, and we'll worry about that when we get to it. September is always a very, very difficult, you know, time of the year to judge. So I think we'll leave that alone. What I would say, though, what's quite interesting for September is that it does show me some area for bird heights down here in the tropical Atlantic and going into the Caribbean. September is normally peak tropical storm and hurricane season. So that would suggest like quite a dry, sort of inactive September, which is not what we're expecting at all. We're expecting, you know, by September, the hurricane season will be really starting to ramp up. So, excuse me, once again, that will go against that idea, and so that's quite strange as well, because we are expecting, you know, that by September this hurricane tropical storm season will be ramping up. So we wait and see. Anyway, we'll worry about September when we get to it. Coming back to August, in the final analysis, I think we're going for a more unsettled month. particularly for northern areas, and has been the case through this summer so far. Particularly the first half of the month looks quite cool and unsettled. The second half of the month may get some higher pressure, but how long that lasts, how hot it gets, remains to be seen. And I have a feeling it will probably be, any high pressure will probably be relatively short-lived and mostly focus on the last week of the month, moving towards September. And in terms of temperature, so average temperature certainly cooler than July. Temperature anomaly is below, not greatly below average, but probably near normal to slightly below 81 to 2010 average. And certainly a lot cooler with the anomaly 2 average compared to June and July, which we're running around 1.5 degrees above average or so for the CET. And more in way of precipitation as well, so particularly the northern and western areas, probably a bit above average rainfall, southern and east areas, perhaps near normal. It's a complicated forecast, low confidence, that's the best I can do for you. Right, so that's that done then. We'll be back later on with your European outlook and also the 10 to 14 day that will include all rate features. Come back for that then. For the August 2021 forecast from GavsWeatherVids, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.